What's up, guys? This is Winter's Camp and I'm Nick. We got here pretty late last night and I didn't have enough time to really mess with my new drone. It's got a 20-minute flight time, which means I only probably got about 5 minutes worth of footage, because by the time I figured out how to actually use it, the battery was drained. But I do have another battery, and I'll probably have to charge the other one using the inverter on the FJ. But did a lot of driving to find a spot last night, because the spots that I had scouted out on the GPS were already taken. So this spot here is totally random, but it's working out so far. It's a nice open area here. A lot of down limbs for firewood. There will be no shortage of firewood. So it's going to be a good time, guys. So join me. We'll have a good time. Most of you know that Michigan allows dispersed camping, but there are certain rules and regulations that you have to abide, and one of them is that you have to be at least a mile away from a designated campsite. So let's say a pay site, for instance, you have to be a mile away in order to camp for free. You can print off your registration cards on the DNR website, the Michigan DNR. I'll throw a link down here and show you guys where you can get them, and just print some off and leave them in your glove box. That's what I do. The spot that you pick out, let's say on your GPS, might already be occupied, so I would suggest that you scout for more spots and not just one, because this has already happened to me. You can pick a spot or two on the GPS, and when you get there, someone else is going to be there, and that's kind of a bummer. But you know what? That's just how it is. This is everyone's land out here to share. So it's first come, first serve. That's how that goes. So make sure when you're planning on a dispersed camping trip that you pick out at least 4 or 5 spots, within the area. That way, if it is occupied, then you have more of a chance of finding one that isn't. Here's the card. It's as simple as filling out your license plate number and where you're from, and when you're done filling it out, I like to just put it in like a little Ziploc baggie and just tack it to a tree. That way the DNR can make his rounds later and know who was here. Some people might think they can get away with not filling out the card, but let me tell you, you may have a DNR officer that will crawl up your butt for doing that. But they want to know who's out here, and they want you to come out here and clean up your mess also, so keep that in mind. Make sure when you are dispersed camping that you're not on private property. I'll show you on Google Maps where you can disperse camp. Usually the areas that are allowable are highlighted in green. That's state property. And also for you guys that use GAIA GPS, I will show you how to look for the state property on that also. So just be sure you're following all the guidelines. You know, in some of these places you won't be allowed to camp, you know, during certain times of the year, especially during hunting season. So just keep that in mind. Alright, here is a map of Michigan. It is showing you the Huron-Manistee National Forest. And as you can see, I have a plethora of locations saved into my favorites on my map. These are places I have already visited, and these are potential spots for future visits. So, just so you know, these spots in green here is state land, and Michigan is full of it, even in the UP. So keep that in mind when you're scouting for a place to camp. You want to make sure you pick out multiple places just in case one happens to be occupied. Just because it's green doesn't mean it's not private property. Please follow posted signs always. Here is the GAIA GPS I was telling you guys about, and just so you guys know beforehand, the service does cost money. The premium service is about 40 bucks a year, which is what I have. Anyway, it's a lot more detailed than Google Maps. It shows all the 4x4 trails. It shows roads that Google Maps doesn't even show. So the cool thing about this is you can use multiple maps. You could choose different types of maps. The one I use as my base map is the Neotrex land use. But if I want to, use the satellite, then all I got to do is move that slider over, and then I can bring up satellite imagery as seen here. But this changes when you zoom in. If you zoom in further, then you have more detailed. You know where all these 4x4 trails are, and that's a good way to get yourself out of a rut too, because you may get lost and you may want to find your way out of here. I think you can download an offline version of this, just to have on you, and as long as you got GPS coordinates on here, you can usually get yourself out of a jam if you get lost. Always use a compass, of course. Anyway, I go back up here and let's deactivate this satellite layer and use the Neotrex land use map. Sorry about that. But anyway, I was camping near Wellston, Michigan, and we were down near River Road somewhere. Anyway, I had some places that I picked out earlier to stay, and there's two of them right off the bat that were occupied. Here we go. So we camped out right around this area here. Alright, so if you click on this little eye down here, it'll show you the map legend. It'll show you, what the red, orange, and yellow lines mean, and it's color coordinated, which has got almost all the colors in a rainbow. If you can decipher which green is which, more power to you. But anyway, it's got 4x4 trails and high clearance. So your rural roads are low clearance. Most cars can go through there. Here you have double line 4x4 high clearance for your lifted vehicles. So this is good to have, especially if you only have a car. Then you know what road that you're capable of going down, and the roads that you are not capable of going down. You have to be really careful in Michigan because a lot of the roads are sand, and if you try to go through some of these sand trails with your car, you're probably going to get stuck.
West of today, mostly sunny through mid-afternoon. becoming partly sunny. Highs in the lower 70s. Light winds. Tonight, partly cloudy in the evening, then mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of rain showers overnight.
When you're out here in the countryside doing this kind of camping, there's a good chance that you're not going to get a good cell reception and to be able to check the weather and all that stuff. So I chose to get a CB for my rig. So when I'm out here, you know, I can get a good accurate description of the weather and I'm not draining my cell battery, you know, searching for service and all that stuff. So keep that in mind, and when you're out here, you know, don't go crazy trying to drain your cell phone battery trying to get service out here. There's a good chance that anytime you got a CB radio that you can pick up some of the NOAA weather stations locally. I think we're gonna just chill out and enjoy the rest of the night. We have fought and fought hordes of mosquitoes for the past couple hours, but we're not gonna let that hinder our evening, so we're gonna chill out by this awesome fire and wait for the stars to come out and then probably go to bed. Got a lot of cleaning up and packing to do in the morning, so we're gonna try and get a good night's sleep. So we'll catch you all in the morning. Guys, that was an awesome camp. This whole weekend has been just gorgeous. The weather's been great. The nights were super quiet. And if you want to disperse camp in Michigan, just click the link in the description and that'll pretty much take you to the Michigan DNR where you can find the paperwork to disperse camp. In the meantime, get outside and go camping.